Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to be showing you how to make my everyday iced coffee, so something that I make every morning. And what really inspired me is obviously this change in weather. So summer is now here, which I'm so happy about, my favorite season. And I switched my coffee over from being warm to cool, just because my body is really craving things to cool down now. I have never really been a coffee drinker and actually have never drank coffee up until this year. I was just always avoiding it because of my struggle with hormonal acne and everything I was hearing from experts in the health and wellness world. And even when I studied to be a registered holistic nutritionist, I just always heard so much negative stuff about coffee that I was like, well, I might as well just avoid it. And I was never a person who drank coffee daily or was addicted to it or anything. I was just totally fine without it. But I really realized of late of my love for coffee, of how it really supports me. It just helps to honestly motivate me and fuel me, and it's not something I rely on. And like I said, my everyday coffee, I don't have coffee every single day. Some days I just forget about it, and it's not something that I just need to be awake and energetic. So we're all individual, but my message here is that you can enjoy coffee without being scared it's gonna mess up your hormones or your adrenal glands like I was. I was just always so terrified that it was going to screw up my body and mess with everything. But and that being said, for some people, coffee isn't for them. The caffeine's too high. And so it really depends on you, if you can tolerate coffee. And for me, it was just experimenting, right? Drinking coffee and seeing how I do with it. Now, that being said, I just have one coffee a day. That's something that I love, I look forward to. It's like a treat for me, and that's all I really need. So let's dive into making it. I have all the goods set up right here. I will go through the different things that we're gonna be using in the iced coffee and the benefits of it and why I include it into my iced coffee. So let's get started on the recipe. So what we'll be needing is collagen, pearl powder, sugar vita, and you can also sub this for raw honey. This is just a natural sweetener, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. Oat milk, unsweetened oat milk. I just have a bit of ice, maybe 4 ice cubes in a cup, and then of course organic coffee beans. So I like to make my coffee from scratch. This is actually the brand I use, and I will put all of the links in the description. But I just want to quickly mention, it is really important to choose an organic coffee, because coffee is something that grows in the ground and can easily and commonly grows mold. So choosing an organic coffee that isn't sprayed with pesticides and that is at a medium roast is what I generally have, is a great choice. So now going into how I make the coffee. So of course this is the first step of iced coffee. I just recently invested in a beautiful espresso machine. I have been dreaming about this and putting money aside for a long time, and yes, years. This is something that I just really think is so important when having good coffee. Espresso is a method that basically helps to get as much nutrition out of your coffee. Coffee is actually so rich in antioxidants. Actually helps with hormone balance. So it contains vast nutrients and minerals that help support your body and hormone balance, which is something I couldn't believe, and even helping with acne, with the skin. So this was always something I thought was an enemy of hormones and an enemy of acne, and it could be for some people. So bear in mind, on an individual level, but through the research that I've seen, people who can do well with coffee, it is really, really beneficial. So I'll show you guys my machine here. So this is the first step. So I'm gonna switch the machine on. I'm actually gonna pull the camera a little closer so you guys can see what is up over here. So this is my little coffee corner. So I have my coffee grinder, which is something I purchased separately because when it first started Shelby Naturals, I needed the coffee grinder and a very professional espresso coffee grinder for the scrub. So I always like to grind it to a very fine powder so it wouldn't scratch the surface of the skin, so the epidermis. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press play. So it already has the coffee beans in there, so I just keep them because it's sealed for freshness. And then I'm just gonna do one shot right into my little handheld thing for the espresso machine. The next step that I like to do, I'm super OCD, so there's this little like coffee container just to grab the excess grinds that I don't need. I like to put that underneath because I don't want like coffee getting everywhere, and it just kind of like gives me anxiety because I'm a clean freak. So I like to put that under there and just kind of press it down. So this is the next step to making a great espresso. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the coffee out because this, for some reason, doesn't do an exact shot. So for me, you can have I call it a shot, but it's a single, and then there's a double, which is obviously like double the size. So I like to do a single. Some days I have a double, but most days I just go for that single coffee shot. So I'm just gonna quickly press it down. And I'm gonna pop it under in the machine. Perfect. And then I'm gonna stick my cup under and let it work its magic. Now we're ready to blend everything together. So I always like to start with a base of oat milk. This is something that I've really gravitated towards and I've been loving lately. I was on a big coconut milk craze, and then I've just really been enjoying the taste of oat milk with coffee, and apparently my husband has too because there's like barely anything left. So hopefully this is enough. If not, I'll add a little bit of water. It's not a big deal. I tried to make my own oat milk, but I failed miserably. And this is not to be, I'm like not being cocky or anything, but cooking is something that I've always been so good at, and like just making like different adaptations and making things healthier. And I tried the oat milk. I like tried every recipe. I tried the best recipes. I tried to make my own, and they all failed. They ended up being really, really slimy or thick, which I don't like. So I resorted to just buying this brand. It's the Khalifa Farms oat milk, and they had just like the least amount of added ingredients. So this one doesn't have any sugar. It just has water, oats, sunflower oil. There's like calcium carbonate, sea salt. So it's really not that bad, but I do want to try and make my own. If you guys have any suggestions, or if you have a really great recipe for oat milk, please let me know, because my first few tries were complete and utter fails, so I just resorted to buying it. Okay, now we got the oat milk in there. The next step I'm going to add is just some sugar. So I told you guys I would tell you a little bit more about this, and I've talked about this in past videos. But what the benefits of this Sugar Vitas, this is organic Palmyra tree blossom sugar. It comes from a Palmyra tree blossom in India. But basically it's known in Ayurveda to really help balance the hormones, and it's very rich in B vitamins, especially vitamin B12. And I started taking this and really did notice a difference in the redness of my skin, because my skin's always been like super sensitive and red. And it's a super low glycemic sugar. It doesn't like spike your cortisol levels, so it's not going to cause like stress or inflammation on the body. And of course, like balanced amounts, obviously. So it is a great sugar. Highly recommend it, and I'll have a link underneath so you guys can check it out. The next thing I like to add to my iced coffee is Pearl Powder by Moon Juice. So I'm a huge fan of Moon Juice. I know you guys have seen me talk about them before. I've tried a lot of their supplements, and honestly, I just bought the Pearl Powder because I always wanted to give it a try and see how it works, and honestly, I love it. I love Pearl Powder because it's high in calcium, it's high in minerals, it's a skin beautifying food. So skin and beautifying in the same like sentence, count me in. I'm gonna try this. Okay, next step is collagen. So you guys know, I've talked about it before, but if you're new, I get my collagen in bulk. It's grass-fed, and I will put a link under because it is a great price and it's not super expensive, and I just keep it in a glass Tupperware container so it lasts. So I do about 1 scoop of collagen, which is equivalent to I think like 11 or 12 grams of protein, which is really nice. Okay, so now we've got all the ingredients in there. All I'm gonna do is pop the lid on and blend her up. Okay, so you only need to do like a quick 10-15 second blend. I wouldn't even blend too high. That was probably a little bit too high because you don't want to like mess with any of the ingredients. Okay, so now just like a really nice foamy, I'm like trying to tip this over so you guys can see. See, it's hard to be a camera woman. There we go. So I'm gonna take my glass with my ice that's like already melted, whatever. And I'm gonna pour the oat milk in. Yeah, see, I need a little bit more oat milk, but that's okay. You just add more ice. If you guys are doing like a drip coffee or you're doing like instant coffee, I would probably do like a half a cup of coffee, I would say would be good. This is about, I would say, like a quarter, half a cup. So I'm just gonna pour the coffee like right over the foam. I'll come right up to the camera so you guys can check this out. There we go. And that is it. I'm gonna give it a try. I just love this. I could drink this all day, even though I only have one. It's special. It makes my day. This makes my day. Okay, of course, like my husband, like I love him, he makes my day, but this just cherry on top. Just so good. Enjoy, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and hit subscribe to join in. I am getting more frequent with my videos, and let me know what you guys want to see next. Bye.